So I'm going to show you in this video how exactly to the detail, this same thing that the Nazis did to get the Germans to hate the Jews is what is going on today. Like verbatim the same. So then when the Nazi network, and let's just call them what it is, before I say this, because it's shocking how absolutely the same it is. And so I didn't follow Q, but there's a site you can go on and like search terms and it'll pull up Q posts. And what I'm wondering is, where are the Q people calling this crap out? Why aren't they calling this crap out? Because Q did post about how history is repeating and said, did the Nazis, even in a couple of posts said, did the Nazis ever go away? Do you see the pattern here? So I'm just shocked, because I know there's a couple of big time people on here like Miller Don't Quit or something like that, and Script Keeper, yet they carry on about all this. Why aren't you calling these people out, especially given how much Q, if you're Q people, posted about this? Because this shit this network is doing it's exactly how they got the Germans to they dehumanized the Jews so much. I'm going to go over exactly. It's same stuff she does. Same stuff that all these people are doing. And then it gets people to this place where, no, it's best if they're gone. Because they terrified Germans. So let's start here with Palestine and Germany. Shall we? Because that would be a good place to start. I was shocked. I was just totally shocked how absolutely the same it is. The same thing right now. The Nazis had a complex, contradictory stance on the idea of a Jewish state in Palestine. While they despised Zionism and viewed it as part of a broader Jewish world conspiracy, they briefly allowed German Jews to immigrate to Palestine during the 1930s under the Havara Agreement. This was not out of support for Zionism, but rather as a means to rid Germany of Jews while confiscating their possessions. Hitler ridiculed the idea of Jews establishing and defending a state, dismissing them as incapable of nation building. Nazi propaganda portrayed a potential Jewish state in Palestine as a Vatican for the Jews, central to an international conspiracy threatening Germany and even Islam in the Middle East. Ultimately, Nazi policies aimed to prevent the emergence of a Jewish state, seeing it as incompatible with their anti-Semitic worldviews. Candace Owens has made several, I would say it's more than controversial at this point, statements about Jews, including claims that they control the media and insinuations of sinister motives behind Jewish influence in Hollywood. Her rhetoric has led to her being named Anti-Semite of the Year. Yeah, that's for sure. And everything that this biatch claims is everything that exactly what the Nazis did. It's so sick. Nazi propaganda falsely claimed that Jewish people were pedophiles as part of their broader anti-Semitic ideology. This was used to dehumanize and justify violence against Jewish communities during the Holocaust. Sound familiar? The Nazis claimed that Jews controlled the media as part of their broader anti-Semitic propaganda campaign. Sound familiar? They adapted long-standing stereotypes to portray Jews as deceitful, dangerous, blaming them for Germany's problems, including alleged dominance over media and finance. Sound familiar? This narrative was reinforced through films, posters, radio broadcasts, and even children's books, dehumanizing Jewish people and spreading lies about their influence. Nazi the Nazis falsely claimed that the Jews sought to commit genocide against Germany. Sound familiar? What is everybody saying that Israel's doing? They're genociding Palestine. You see, there's more. This was part of their anti-Semitic propaganda, which framed Jews as a malevolent force, a unified malevolent force aiming to destroy Germany. They propagated conspiracy theories, such as the, quote, Jewish war theory, alleging that Jews started World War II and sought Germany's destruction. Adolf Hitler's 1939 prophecy speech even claimed that a war caused by Jews would result in their annihilation, framing the Holocaust as self-defense against an alleged Jewish threat. Nazi propaganda portrayed Jews as a dangerous and subhuman group responsible for Germany's problems. Sound familiar? Using dehumanization and demonization to justify their persecution. Their key tactics were they likened Jews to rats, lice, cockroaches, parasites. They put it in speeches, posters, and publications, stripping them of human qualities and moral consideration. They were depicted as malevolent agents of evil, scheming to undermine Germany through communism, capitalism, and cultural degeneration. Jews were blamed for Germany's economic struggles, accused of greed and exploiting the nation. Sound familiar? Propaganda emphasized that Jews were an alien presence incompatible with the nation vision of the Aryan national community, justifying their removal from public life. The Nazis claimed that Jews sought to control the world as part of their anti-Semitic propaganda. Sound familiar? They promoted conspiracy theories about a supposed, quote, Jewish world conspiracy alleging the Jews manipulated global politics, finance, and media to dominate nations and destroy Germany. Sound familiar? These ideas were rooted in fabricated texts like the Protocols of the Elders of Zion and were used to justify Nazi policies, including genocide. Nazi propaganda portrayed Jews as orchestrating both capitalism and communism to enslave non-Jewish populations and framed World War II as a defensive struggle against the alleged global Jewish threat. That led to then the German people being so terrified, being so afraid, because at every level, every poster, every radio show, every broadcaster back then, every movie was just constantly telling them what these rats and lice were going to do to them and overthrow them. And you hear that day in and day out, and you hear it enough time, you believe it. And instead of this bitch doing the right thing with her millions and millions of people that follow this trash, and recognize she's no different than the Nazis, what does she do? She uses the same damn playbook. But this time wants to say, oh, it's true, I'm just speaking the truth. She wouldn't know the truth. She's no different than the SS. She's just trying to terrify the American people. Terrify the Palestinians. Oh, the Israel, they want to annihilate you. They want to genocide you. Same damn Nazi propaganda bullshit. Because the Nazis never went away. Yeah, the same faces aren't around anymore. But these are the new faces. Take a good look at them. Because they're the same damn people that ended up leading to the genocide of 6 million Jews and other people. And they were responsible for the most grotesque propaganda and bullshit the world had ever had to endure. Candace Owens should be removed from being allowed to speak.